All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of live show. Whatever we have Tim Brown here, my personal SEO guru.
What's up, guys?
I have quite a few stories for you, and I'm gonna actually start with a big storytelling. Life of the influencer who exposes brands is not easy. This is an example right here. How long have we been working together?
Probably like 7, 8 months.
7, 8 months. I had to beg this person to work with me, like beg. Both him and his wife, true or false? Him and his wife would not work with me and told me no in the beginning. True or false?
That's true. We were a little afraid of Dimitri, to be honest, because frankly, you kind of wonder: is this man going to respect and honor our situation? And knowing that you've messed with brands before, so that was scary to us. And I didn't know for sure. Like, do you just mess with everyone or not?
Absolutely. So the thing is, if you expose people in general, and we called out a few marketers, and I'm going to start with this. It's very hard to find good, clean web guy, good, clean SEO expert who will not try to take advantage of you. Extremely hard. So I burned, few relationships because people were screwing me, and obviously if it costs you money and you have power to spread awareness about scam artists, con artists, you're gonna do it. You guys probably would do the same. But guys, like good guys, will look at you and it's like, do I want to work with this guy? And you can see all the brands we work with on the back. All of them probably were skeptical in the beginning because if it doesn't work out, they feel like we will expose them at one point or write a review. Little did you guys know, we actually don't expose even half of bad relationships that we have. Just because someone burned us or didn't deliver results doesn't mean we're gonna make a YouTube video about it. As a matter of fact, we only did like 5 exposure in last year, and we produced over 200 videos. So we're not in business of exposing people. We're in business.
But they're the ones that get the most interest.
Yes,
people
because
really love those videos.
You guys comment a lot, and this is more on you. What kind of content you want to create? So today
people demand it.
Absolutely. So here's the hold on. Make contact, make contracts. So here's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna prove my case that social media, as we know it, is dead in 2021. And the websites and emails are back. Tim Brown actually does not know why I have such a strong opinion. I'm going to present it to you. I'm going to present it to the team. We're probably going to argue a little bit about a few of the statements. But overall, I want you to ask questions. I want you to engage with us, ask questions live. We're going to bring it on the screen, and Tim and myself will be answering. But here's my case, guys. 2021 is absolutely crazy in the world of marketing. Just a couple weeks ago, our president lost his accounts with Twitter, with Facebook. And this is why I'm telling you right now that social media as we know it is dead. Imagine your business, if you put all your eggs on Facebook, on YouTube, could be Angels List, could be directory, doesn't matter, Roofing Insights. When you put everything in one place, hold on one second. Fix it so the wire does not tap. So imagine this, guys. You put all your eggs in one basket. What's happening next? As a business owner, I have a right to do business with you or not to do business with you. What do you have? The reason I'm telling you that website is super important, when Donald Trump lost 80 million followers on Facebook, did he have a good website? This guy right here, I don't know if you follow him, Seth Godin, wrote his book on person. If you type in his first and last name, and as an exercise, do it. Seth Godin, type his name. #1 search on Google will be his website. Number one website in the world for marketers, number one blog in the world. This guy does something that I recommend every single person who's watching it right now. I don't know who needs to hear it. You need to write personal blog daily, and you need to build personal website. What's website? And I'm not trying to sell you a website. Nobody gonna ask you to buy anything. There's no secret courses, nothing. I'm telling you that website that you build, you can control. If you have traffic to your website, Facebook, YouTube, even Google cannot do nothing about it. So you will show up on Google search or not show up on Google search, but you own it. For example, a lot of brands, they don't want to sell on Amazon. Brands I follow with sporting goods and stuff like No Bull and Rogue, they build their own brands and people go to their websites. People will go to your website. You can buy a building in your town, put a website name on it, and nobody can do nothing about it. But you cannot say the same about Facebook, about YouTube. As a matter of fact, it comes from very deep pain from inside of me. Years ago, I made this mistake, and it comes from the experience, this advice. I put all my eggs in one basket in 2015, was Angie's List. I ended up with over 700 reviews on Angie's List. And one day, Angie's List called me and pretty much canceled my account, say you cannot advertise with us, we're not going to do business with you. You know why they did it? We published video of a phone conversation between the Roofing Insights team and Home Advisor. It was a phone conversation with a sales rep who was lying to us. Home Advisor asked us to remove video and offer us money to remove it. We denied. And then 2 years later, Home Advisor buys Angie's List, and first step they did is they deleted our account. Not only my roofing business, but my ice dam removal business. I mean, we were 5-star contractors, everything. And I remember calling my lawyer in 2017. And what Trump learned in 2020, I learned in 2017. My lawyer, James Smith, told me, Dmitry, Angie's List is a private organization. They don't have to do business with you if they don't want to. Well, I was actually paying Angie's List up to $5,000 a month. Think about it. I was paying client. I have over 700 reviews, and I lost it all just like that. Because I was diverse, I have Google reviews, I have all other platforms, I made it. But what would happen to your business if Google turns you down, YouTube? As a matter of fact, even YouTube, Baz Damn Roofer, you guys all know it. YouTube deleted his channel more than, I think, 2 times. Facebook deleted Baz Damn Roofer like 3 times. The guy keeps coming and keeps creating new pages under different names, but every time he violates policy, talks about drugs too much or girls or hookers or whatever, they just ban it. And you're talking about having 13, like last time, if anybody knows, if Baz Damn Roofer is watching this, comment below how many subs he has. I checked last time, he has 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he had to start over. I mean, that's painful. So if you would have built the website, and by the way, whether you have a website, whether you have a YouTube channel, you should have a place, hopefully a website that features all of it. So Tim Brown here, and I'm going to give him a moment to start talking, answer to my little rant here. Yeah. Tim Brown here, he actually in charge of roofinginsights.com, have been in charge for the last 8 months. So every time we upload videos, if you go to roofinginsights.com, you can see brand behind us, you can see sponsors, you can see people who we work with, you can see our latest videos, you can see our Instagram, our Facebook. So I don't care if Facebook goes or YouTube goes and deletes us, I still have a library of videos. I'm going to rebuild it, but I already have some SEO power, I already have some website. So do you agree that as we know it, social media is dead and websites are back?
I would say this is we want as much control as possible in our marketing, right? We want control, and your first phase might be, hey, we're going to be less dependent on Home Advisor or Angie's List or these different things. At a certain point, you want to start building your website into something, I think of it as like equity, right? You've got traffic. If you've got traffic from different sources, you have more equity in that website, and you're turning it into a traffic magnet, right? Like Google also has an algorithm that it could just mess you up. So ultimately, I would say I love Google traffic. my biggest thing is I look at lead sources. Where do most roofing companies get their leads from? I see referrals is a big one that people can't mess with you. People can't mess with your reputation in your town, in your city. If you have a great reputation, people can't mess with that. People can't mess with when you have a bunch of traffic to your website on a regular basis. Facebook can't kick you off. Twitter can't kick you off and ruin your business. So it's basically being, no one can mess with you. That's kind of what we want to get to. We want to, and it does come down to you want to have multiple sources. And I think I'll disagree with you that I still love social media, and I know you do too, for distribution. If you are let's say writing a blog every single day, writing a blog every single week, whatever you're doing, the distribution channels matter too. One of your distribution channels should be learning how to wield Google. But then the other distribution channels, we don't want to be overly dependent on Google either, right? And that's why we do hit up social. We do want to build a brand in our city with trucks and signs and things like that to drive people to our business. To me, it's just about diversifying where you're getting your business from.
Absolutely. Well, what I have to say is if you learn how to create content, and if you guys follow guys like Gary Vee, geniuses who produce more content than anyone, they will tell you the platforms do not matter. You could be advertising on MySpace 10 years ago. Today, nobody knows MySpace. 10 years from now, we could be all on Parler. We could be all on, newer TikToks. The platform does not matter. As a matter of fact, if something happens to YouTube, if something happens to Facebook, I will be fine. Do you know why? Because I learned a skill, and when you learn the skill, the platform or job place, does not matter anymore. You learn the skill, and you will make so much money anywhere you go.
Yeah.
Like when you learn this, we have a setup, we have life. Like when you learn how to create content. As a matter of fact, content creation is almost like a public speaking. The more you do, the better you become. Platform distribution is a secondary. Now, a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people go in and they go all in on Facebook, and they completely ignore LinkedIn. They neglect it. They don't put any content there, and then if Facebook changes algorithm, by the way, a couple of years ago, that's exactly what happened, and Facebook got so much hate. Do you guys remember, comment if you remember times where 100% of your friends have seen 100% of your posts, and then it went from 100% to like 3% overnight.
Yeah.
And people like, man, I have 500 friends, and I just post something and I have 3 likes. What happened? Well, what do you think happened? Facebook needed to figure out how to make money. 98% of Facebook revenue, which is, by the way, like 17 billion per quarter. I mean, like billions. 98% of it is coming from where? That's right, advertising. So they want you to promote your post. They want to get paid. Free isn't free. You get what you pay for. So you might say, well, websites are expensive. Well, websites are expensive, but you control it, and it's your rules. As a matter of fact, here's the thing. The top names in the game, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Sean, I mean, you think about big influencer with the show and stuff, they all have a personal brand websites. Tony Robbins does not care about YouTube. He's still going to go to CNBC, MSNBC, CNN for the interviews and stuff. He still will be uploading there, but he does not rely on YouTube. It's a channel for him, but what he really works on daily is his skill and his show, and he controls it. The problem I see with the roofers and the business owners, we don't control the show. We are hostage of the platforms, of the marketers sometimes. And by the way, here's the question for you. One of the common questions I get from roofers who pay top dollar for their websites is, can I cancel my contract? Because marketers actually figured it out. And the worst thing you can do, and this is the question, is to give marketer full control of your website.
So good.
So
I need to rant on this for a second.
When you want to cancel, they're like, you can't. You pay us $5,000. We own your website. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, there are a couple very popular roofing marketing companies out there that I know of, and I don't believe you've ever associated with them whatsoever. So I just want, I'm not going to say them by name, but there's ones that lock you into a contract on your
Marketing
website.
360.
There's some bad ones out there. So frankly, I'm not that surprised when a roofer comes to us and is super, super skeptical and all that. What I want to say is there's ones in there, they say, once you work with us, where you're on this long contract, and if you go away, we take the website with us, and people take all the content with them. Very, very popular roofing marketing company. They take all the content off the website if they made any content. It's basically, it's taking advantage of people, which I hate that. And then there's other ones, and there's ones that I know of that also, I don't want to like actually indicate who this is, but there's ones that
on this show we're dropping names.
Oh God, I can't because I know the guy's probably watching.
Give me
I know the guy's watching.
Give me a hint.
No.
Give me a hint.
He's up in your group dropping free audits on
Okay,
the group all the time.
I'll find it.
He's gonna do a free audit for you, and don't trust what he says because here's the deal. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. This is dramatic.
This is good.
Here's the deal. If they are making a separate website from your website, and they own that domain, it says like your city name plus your service name.com, and they own it. And then they're basically selling you leads. You're like buying into another home advisor type thing, and they can take that website with them anytime because they own whatever.com, and you want to own it. You want to own your marketing, and you want to. I mean, I really think you should have your hands on the levers. You should be the one defining where things go. You need to build your website into this thing with equity for your business. You do not want to build it on a separate site. And I think that's something that's a hill I'll die on.
We have a question here. By the way, absolutely love Country Top Roofing. I love the channel. Look at this picture here. This is so good. Guy with a bundle of shingle. I mean, this is awesome. Country Top Roofing, I want to hear more from you. Where are you from? What's your name? Who's behind the channel? Maybe let's collaborate, but absolutely love it. So the question is, do you use SEM Rush or Ahrefs? I actually use Ahrefs.
I love Ahrefs. So ahrefs.com. It's basically like they've done tests on the indexing. So these are both tools that help you find keywords to write about on your website. SEMrush and Ahrefs, or Ahrefs. Amazing. So you can pop your competitors in there and see all the things that they're ranking for, and then you can write about those things and steal their traffic, basically. And then the other thing is you can see everything you're ranking for currently, and you could try to increase that ranking by writing more on those things. One thing I think is a slept-on thing is people need to take their best content and increase the value of it. So I've seen this a lot where people go back and they basically redo it every single time. I'm telling you, use the same URL and increase the amount of value and the comprehensiveness on your content. So I love Ahrefs personally. SEMrush is great. It's just Ahrefs has a much bigger index, and that does matter.
I use Ahrefs even for YouTube videos, so you can go to Ahrefs. Like every time you're doing a search on what video to upload, what you can do is on YouTube your titles matter. So if you want to upload a video that will dominate the search, look how many searches roofing has and how many searches roof repair has, or how to repair something. And you will see if it's similar keyword and both of them are explaining what's in a video, but one of them has 100 views, 100 searches per month, and another one has 30 searches per month, and you can describe your video with both of them, always go for the keyword that's more popular. Just no brainer there. By the way, SEMrush is a Russian company, started with St. Petersburg a couple of years ago. I met entire team in Cleveland at marketing conference. Absolutely amazing team, love them. They have investors from the United States. It was just a cool fact right there.
That's awesome.
So I do have a question here from Eamon McKinley. Team, how did you become so attractive?
Ammon, dude, how you doing, man? Good to see you. I know this guy. That's why he's doing that. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the embarrassing.
By the way, the hardest part is actually not the looks. It's we have to adjust our cameras to fit him in the camera. He's so tall. We have to move cameras back. Otherwise, we're cutting his forehead. And
somebody asked about WordPress on here too.
Okay, you pick the question.
Oh yeah, we got somebody asked about WordPress. I think we should talk about that a little bit. So, WordPress. is what's called a content management system. It's just basically the system that you are able to edit the content easily on your website. There's nothing particularly special about it for SEO or getting higher on Google, but the thing is that it's open source program, right? So everybody's building add-ons to this thing all the time. So we use a SEO plugin called Rank Math that, it basically just has a bunch of tools built in, and people are always building add-ons because it's open source. So you've got this major benefit that people are always adding on. Now, if I just wanted a pretty website up quick and it's cheap-ish, I like Squarespace. Squarespace is great, but the problem is ultimately you want that open source thing so you can do add-ons and it's super easy. I think WordPress is the best platform for that reason.
Awesome. What do you think about websites like Wix and the third-party sites? Still as bad as they were 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, they're trying. Wix is trying. They have like a whole information. They have like propaganda wing that's like, yeah, we're great at SEO, and they like collaborate with all these SEO companies to try to make themselves seem awesome. They struggle because of that thing that they're not open source. It's a closed source platform, and so people are not able to create add-ons.
What about GoDaddy? The same thing?
GoDaddy is probably one of the worst as far as they have great support and all that, but their builder and their website builder is usually, it's trash.
So it's not there. I feel like companies like GoDaddy, because it's a domain name company and they have such a big audience, everybody knows them. They just wanted to capitalize on something they're not experts in. That's how I explain it to people. Yeah, you can buy a domain name. It's probably the best place to find a domain name is GoDaddy. But then as far as hiring them for the website, it's the same thing as to hire a roofer to do your floors. Just because he knows how to install shingles doesn't mean that he is expert in everything. The same thing. I'm going to answer this question. Are there any good training for people who have no clue about SEO from Janine? Next week, we actually have Tim Brown competition in the house, filming course for do-it-yourselfers, like how to rank on Google Maps. Pretty much if you have anybody in the company who is willing to learn, we're going to shoot content for entire day. What you can do. I built my own website in 2013. You obviously can do it. I actually built it in weeks at first. And then,
to get started, you should do whatever you need to do.
Exactly. I didn't have money, and I did $900,000 in sales in the first year. So, I built a website. I made money. I reinvested in a new website. I paid, in the next year in business, I paid someone $4,000. That was a WordPress website. But honestly, I did not feel huge difference. But obviously, the domain name already was in place for a year. So you have domain authority. Let's talk about domain authority. And can a brand new business really rank high fast? And what's the minimum time you should expect to get any results? Because I see so many SEO gurus who tells you I'll get you on the first page of Google in no time, just pay me $2,500 a month, and then year goes by, there's no results, you're out of 30 grand. By the way, roofers don't like to calculate their money. They think about those small payments, not realizing that they pay an actual 10, 20, 30 grand per year. What's your take on longevity of domain names, and how fast can you actually get decent results?
This is a weird thing because a year and a half is not that long, really, in the course of a long business. And really, realistically, it does take a long SEO, no matter what, takes a long time. Now, this has basically got us now turning down clients that haven't had their website out there for a long time because we're just scared to take responsibility that soon in your business. I always say to crack the door on traffic is the hardest part. Once you have the door cracked, it's a lot easier to pull it open. So sometimes people will come to us, a lot of people will come to us and they've had an SEO company for 3 or 4 months. And I can look in Ahrefs, that tool that we mentioned, and see they've been doing some of the right things. They're actually on their way. And I tell them that. I make sure that they know that this person has been doing some of the right things, because otherwise they're going to have the wrong expectations for us. And I want it to be clear where the result is coming from. It takes a long time, but you can't just set your website out there and forget it. You have to get links back to the website from around the internet. And I think the first way to do that is to get local directory listings. So I know that there's services to do that. we share how to do that on hookagency.com/SEO-basics. I also have 2 guides. Somebody mentioned what courses. I'm glad that you guys are doing a course. There's a couple of free resources. Backlinko.com
Wow,
is
Backlinko.
absolutely amazing. And sometimes
Amazing YouTube channel too.
yeah. And like sometimes like the stuff that you'd read on this person's blog and you'd see in his YouTube is better than half the paid courses out there. So I'm just saying, go check out Backlinko.
If you guys ever have purchased course or how to do it yourself tutorial, comment. I want to know how much you have paid. And here's the craziest thing about SEO and websites. It become a topic where everybody talks about it, but nobody actually does it. It blows my mind how many regions in the country, like roofers trying to rank higher. You look in, nobody has Google reviews. There's so many small pockets all over the country, has like zero competition. Yeah, there might be 300 roofers, but it'll be like only 3 of them with a good online presence worth following, worth finding. So like if I would go and open my company like in so many places in US, I can be number 1 in like 6 months. Like no question asked. Like no question, because the markets are not taken. And here's the crazy part about roofers too. We know about resources, we heard about them, we think they're awesome, we know you have to do it, we're just freaking not gonna do it. I recently talked to someone about OC Pro Cell, and the guy was telling me, OC Pro Cell is awesome. I'm like, great. Can you show me how you use it? Oh, I don't use it yet. Like, why not? Like, oh, you need a great website. Like, do you have a great website? Well, not yet. I'm in the process. So we're always in the process. We don't keep the main thing. We start with the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, drop money there, but our website are never built. One of the great, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention real quick that if you have a website, you have a domain, I really strongly suggest when you think about being higher in Google, you need time. Don't switch your domains around all the time. Stop switching your domains. I see that as a common thing. And also, it's not a good idea to do 5 different domains and try to rank them in different cities. It's better to have one domain and landing pages or just like separate city pages on that one domain. And it's very hard to get traction with one domain. SEO is just very hard. It is. Even for us, and we're doing it, 15 people, 40 hours a week, right? So you need to commit to a domain and stay there. So if that's one thing, and then, I talk about links, but basically sticking on a domain and not switching around and not trying to do 5 domains.
Great question from Esmet Ramirez here. How difficult is the marketing process in social networks? For instance, Facebook or just YouTube? Majority of people search solutions over here. I'm going to start with this fact. YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world after Google, and obviously owned by Google. So, if you have a YouTube video with, let's say, 200,000 views per month and it's hosted on your domain name on your website, which is found on Google, it'll be absolutely amazing what you're gonna get out of it. So if you answering, by the way, I have a book here, this book right here, guys. If you don't have it yet, go buy it today. Audible, everything. Marcus Sheridan, They Ask, You Answer. So here's the thing about this book. Write down all the questions that your homeowner is asking you. Go write blogs about it. Go make videos about it. Upload it, and then upload it back to your website. What do you think is gonna happen next? People are gonna type in. Right now, we're in Minnesota. Someone gonna go in and type, "Can you install roofing in the wintertime?" If I have article about it, better yet, YouTube video about it, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think the search will be? Homeowner in Minnesota typing how to install a roof in Minnesota, or can you install a roof in Minnesota, and they're going to see my face, my video on my website. What do you think is going to happen next? It's plus 2, 2 plus 2 equals 4. They're going to be like, oh, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's a 30. He's an expert. And Google also, you need to understand this. Google is in business to provide the best search result. If you have answer and someone have a question, Google gonna marry you.
Let me expand on that. Intent. is a big word in search engine optimization. Intent. What is the intent of the searcher? So that's why these lists do very well, right? We've got somebody looking for best roofers in your city. And frankly, you can make that list yourself. It doesn't have to be coming from Home Advisor or these low quality lead providers. It could come from you. You could be the one to curate that. Now it's scary because you're including your competitors in there, right? Mm-hmm. But it does work, and I've seen it do some really cool things. I think that it's important to note if you Google something and the whole entire first page is lists, Google has figured out that people want lists. So you're not going to get into that search result without a list. And the way that it does that, just a real quick, how does it do that? Well, it can tell how long somebody spends on a result. So if they go to the top one is Home Advisor, and they click it.
For now.
Yeah.
For a little bit longer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they click that list and then they stick on it. They're actually looking down the list or looking at the reviews on there, whatever. It's a pretty comprehensive list, right? It's not, I don't want to give them a compliment, but like they've provided.
They figured it out.
Details about that company that people want, and they're getting people to stay on it longer. So if they click on your list and then they jump back to search results, then because they didn't see what they wanted, there wasn't a compelling page. So less and less getting higher on Google has to do with like tricking stuff or a growth hack. We're going to growth hack your way to the top, and more has to do with just is this comprehensive? Is this a comprehensive piece of content? Is it easy to read? Are there bullet points at the top? Is there a video at the top, ideally, right?
Yeah.
Because that's...
And Google, by the way, now search... By the way, did you see that Facebook videos now are featured on Google in results on the first page of Google? So if you have absolutely killer Facebook video as well as YouTube video, Google now places those results on the first page of Google in search results. Absolutely insane. By the way, what Tim is talking about, we actually have lists right now on roofinginsights.com, like best, what did you guys do? Best Dallas contractors, roofing contractor. We're actually implementing the same strategy for directory. For those of you who are not there yet, we have cities where absolutely full, and our lists that we recommend to in Google searches are fulfilling. Obviously, in January, all the views, even like this channel, Roofing Insights, all our metrics are like quarter for what they are in the summer. But guess what? When you build it, when you do the hard work, it's like, first you work on your grades and then your grades work for you. First you build these lists and landing pages and articles, and then those articles and listings are going to start working for you.
And they take a while to work. So I think Dima has a good question here, which is how do you keep SEO company accountable? A lot of you have companies out there, let's say they've been working 3, 6, 9 months, and you're not sure, is this working? Is this working? And it's a really important question, because if you fire them and start over, then you have to start that countdown again to hold them accountable, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to keep somebody as long as possible if it's working. And so it's really important to establish, hey, what are those successes along the way that are leading to increase? Like the real way to keep them accountable is, are there more leads? That's the real question, right? And in the meantime, is there more traffic? And here's, let's say, 3 to 5 keywords that we really care about. Where are they at on those? So like in our case, we do it on Google Data Studio, but they could use any kind of like graphing tool or those types of things. And then ultimately, I think the best way is also to get into analytics a little bit yourself and check it out. Because you can sort. If you go into Google Analytics right now, you can say source and you can look at your organic traffic. And so ultimately, you want to be able to check their work. It's like, you don't delegate a roof to somebody and then a crew and never go check up on and make sure that it's good, right? Like it's delegating, it's having processes and checklists and things like that in place, but then also quality control, check up on what they're doing. But ultimately, it's traffic and leads. And in the meantime, a couple things to look for are, is the amount of links that you're getting increasing? And are the amount of keywords that you're ranking for increasing? Because those are 2 graphs that you can see in Ahrefs, which is it can be pretty cheap service, SEMrush. You can see how many people are linking to your website and how many keywords you're ranking for. Those are 2 kind of early indicators of this is working. We're headed in the right direction.
Great answer. We have a question from Satira. I don't want. How do you say the name? Satira.
I think so. Yes. She said, "What do you think about having a Google Map?"
Help me with the name first.
I think it's Satira.
Satira.
I met her, so I should know this.
I know Satira. I just don't. I hate butcher names, but I'm known for it.
If you could just sound out your name in the comments, no. I'm just kidding.
For me, you can do it for me. What do you think about having Google Map check on your page? Will this help with the SEO?
It's so funny because the Google Local Services thing is so cool and it's so effective that in a lot of markets, everyone rushed in. Like I've been preaching this. Like it's always that early point. And right now, like LinkedIn is at that point, right? Where the algorithm has been early and you can kind of get in there and push up your impressions and stuff like that. Same with Google Local Services or Google Guaranteed. It was so good, and it still is so good in so many markets. But ultimately, yes, it absolutely helps. If you're Google Guaranteed, Google Local Services, it's good. When it comes down to the check mark in Maps, separate from the guaranteed services, it's always about click through. So anything that increases your click through is good. But just so you know, that Google Local Services thing is amazing. It has been amazing, but it's also getting a little saturated. I've talked to people in certain markets and they're like, oh, that doesn't work at all in our market. I don't know if they're just spreading misinformation or what, but I think that's an amazing thing.
We have another question here. Hold on one second.
You should definitely pull up the y'all got an OnlyFans.
Country Top Roofing asking, what is good domain authority score as a goal to reach?
30 is an amazing. Wait, did you say? I thought okay. Google authority. So domain authority. And there's another one that's domain rating. So Ahrefs uses domain rating. Moz is another SEO tool. They use domain authority. They're both approximations of like how respected is this website in Google's eyes, right? And I think domain rating is the best way to check it out in a way. And I think it's kind of like domain authority. So I know this is probably confusing to some people, but I think I said 30 is actually a really good one to shoot for. Like after a couple years of doing SEO with us, companies often have that, or any kind of aggressive SEO. And there's a lot of other great SEO providers out there. But getting to 30 is a really good goal. That's a couple years down the road for people that are starting at 0 to 10. Now, most roofers that we talk to are starting at 0 to 10 on domain authority or domain rating. They're kind of similar. So,
love it. Looks like your free lunch to Jason Harley pays off. First roofing business school student says, Tim and his team at Hook Agency are awesome, doing great work for us over the past several months, and we can see the progress already. Just a little kissing ass there. Noted.
Thanks, Jason.
All right. What does Instagram algorithm consider spamming?
If you have to ask that question, you're spamming it. There's nothing wrong with it. I've done growth hacks and stuff like that. I honestly think this is a good topic to kind of move into, which is what is good content? Because that's what really matters. This dude has good content, right? You guys are all watching this for a reason. This is good content. He curates good content for you. That's why you look at it. It's hard to get good content. I'm not good at YouTube yet. I'm not good at I'm like doing all right on LinkedIn and things like that. But the point is like, what are and I'm going to ask this to you since you're an expert in this. What is good content? Because that's how you really win on these platforms long term. And if you spam an algorithm, if you pay for a bunch of likes or follows or things like that, that fades. That goes away. That might give you a little boost in the meantime, but ultimately it comes down, how are you going to get more real engagement? And so what do you think good content is?
It's very simple. Don't be selfish. And ask yourself what content you like to produce. Like, we're so selfish. We don't go to, like, here's what I see. I see a lot of competition on the rise now. I'm not the first guy who tried to build a roofing YouTube channel. I'm not the first business owner who went. The difference between me, Gary Vee, and a lot of other people, that they're selfish. If you go to Facebook to get likes, you're not gonna get likes. If you go to feed people and provide value, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the same. It's value, value, value. It's all about what you give. It's not about you. What you get is a return, but you have to give and feed first. I have a brand new competitor, not going to mention a name. Honestly, I scrolled down his last 10 posts and I was showing it to someone. There's zero value. 10 posts and it's like, I'm sick here. This is what I eat here. This guy screwed me over here. This is what I'm doing today. And if every video of you, I unfollow quite a few people because they're influencers too. You can be influencer, and everybody can be influencer because it's very easy. It's free. You get a phone, you create an account, and then here on another job. Here's what I'm doing right now. I'm driving there. Who cares? I don't give a crap what you ate this morning. I don't give a crap that you're doing $20 million job. I don't care what's your profit margins. Show me how can it. And by the way, show me within first 20 seconds. When you start creating content, what we do, like I turn on this camera, it's like, hey guys, today I'm gonna tell you why social media is dying and why websites are kings and how to get you there. I didn't start with the bragging that Roofing Insights is doing amazing and how we grew Roofing Insights. This video right here is not about us. I'm not talking about myself. I mean, I can. You're not going to care. You're going to live this life as soon as I start talking about it. So you have, he's handsome. We can talk about it. But it's not about him. It's not about me. It's about you, your questions, your value. So, and also ask yourself, what content you like to consume. We're all different. I see a lot of tribes. Like we follow people who we like and follow. Like if you like Gary Vee content, produce content like Gary Vee. I like investigations. I do investigations. I like educational videos. I make educational videos. You might be sales. You might be geek.
I want to throw a couple more out here too. Like funny, right? Funny is useful to people. You say educational. People love lists. People love
just be true to yourself.
Moving. I've seen a lot of roofers do that well. If they do something in the community, if they're doing like Toys for Tots, if they're doing other things that there's a moving story, interesting stories about your. I think that is something you could do. A lot of roofing companies could do more of. Is actually it's okay to tell a story of something that happened, like your truck got stolen or something. You can do stuff like that. You can do interesting stories as well. It can be about your company and the people in it, but ultimately, you're right. It's because it has an interesting human interest piece to it that these things catch on, I think. And I think yours is a little bit of like controversy is value sometimes.
And I'll explain my content too. Like I'm a firm believer that you have to build conflict in everything I do. And I'll explain what conflict means. People don't like the word conflict. For them, it's negative. Conflict is not negative when it comes to the stories. Think about this. You did not see your sister, your mom, your brother for 2 years. You're going to meet them and you're going to listen to stories like, about their life, what they've been up to, what kind of stories you're going to share with a friend. This happened to me, that happened to me, I got in an accident, I got fired, I got job, I got promoted, I got this. We as a humans love to consume stories, okay? When you share with someone that you purchased brand new car, you're bragging, there's no story about it. When you share story that you bought a lemon, now there's a conflict. You overpaid for something. Now I want to hear that because I don't want to buy a lemon. So every story has to have a conflict in it. Poor versus rich, stupid versus smart, cheap versus expensive. It's all conflict. You will not watch Hollywood movie if there's no conflict in it. Even if it's romance story, comedy story, there's always a red line. They are taking you somewhere. It's not clear. For that reason, most of you, I hope, don't watch Hallmark movies because there's no conflict. You know what's going to happen. I mean, there's a conflict on the Hallmark scale, but for you, it's not good enough to stay entertained. So when you go in and you start creating video, show me something, show me conflicting story of interest. When you interview someone, here's the videos that we all hate. If I would sit here and praise this guy for 1 hour, Tim, you're the best SEO guy in the world. You work with everybody. I never heard a complaint. You're so good. And he would go do the same. Dimitri, no, you're great. I love what you do. Who would watch it? No one. Because there's no conflict. We started this video with, hey man, you did not want to work with me 8 months ago. What the heck?
Yeah.
Because that's a real life, and that's entertaining and interesting because there is a little conflict. Let's go here. Another question we have: how many times a day should I post to my followers, and how do I grow them organically? Never ever turn on your phone if you don't have a good story, if you don't have good quality, if you don't have a good message. I tell people all the time, you don't have a title, you don't have a video. If you cannot explain to me what your video is all about, you don't turn your... I don't care if you did not post for 3 weeks. Because what's going to happen is, and I do the same thing, if I walk in today and I hate my message, I'm not passionate about it, whatever, don't create a video, don't create post for the sake of it. Let your content fuel you. Yeah. Wherever you're the most passionate today, it could be a repair job, it could be a problem with the IRS, with the QuickBooks, whatever. Go create video about it. Watch comments, watch engagement, see if it will lead you to the new video, and then do the same tomorrow. And if you don't have it tomorrow, don't do it. Because you're going to turn off your audience more than you think you will. If you're going to start producing boring videos, it's like, oh, this guy is always selling. This guy, if you watch 10-minute video and you did not know what you watched, guess what? Attention span is small. There's so many options who to follow. They're going to unsubscribe, unfollow you, and they're going to move to the next. Probably to Roofing Insights.
I'm going to do the common man's take on this, since I have less of a following than you in certain ways. We know that when we're interacting with more people, and I'm not an SEO or a social media expert by any means, but I know interacting with people helps, being involved. And part of it is don't think of social media as just this, it's a completely disconnected from real life thing. I think focus on referral partners. That's a good way to do it. To build your Instagram, your Facebook, etc. To focus on referral partners, to do collaborations with referral partners. I think that's something that a lot of people could be doing more of. Videos,
100%.
Videos with the other trades in town. Actually doing almost like sharing your audience. You have a big database of customers. They have a big database of customers. Why are we not potentially doing some crossovers? So I think social media, I think getting it out of this realm of it's separate from real life, and we're not going to do any real business on social media. If you're going to spend time on social media, spend time with referral partners. Spend time with, if you don't connect with more people, if you don't follow more people, if you don't comment on more people's stuff, it's really hard to get that initial traction. And I still feel like, I'm a common man on this stuff. It's not like a huge growth opportunity for us, but where we have seen real results and real business is when we focus on referral partners and we're useful to them and we refer business to other people in our city and in our industry.
Love it. Great question here from Albright Roofing. I believe Albright is in a roofing business school. Any pro tips on getting clients to leave Google reviews? Yesterday, we filmed 7 tips how to get tons of reviews. I give you the best of the best content. Videos in production now. Jeremiah, you're working. It'll be done by the end of the day, you think? Can you finish that video today?
Possibly, yeah.
All right. Most likely it will be done today. So if you're in a school, you're going to get this video, how to get tons of Google reviews today in a school. So here's the process here at Roofing Insights. Our best content, lessons, tutorials go first to school. So school gets our content with no delay. So if we have video today, we upload right away. So we don't have a schedule. If we produce 6 lessons this week, they all get uploaded to school. YouTube, on the other end, and Facebook has a delay. So if we publish 3 YouTube videos per week, so this video of Google reviews might hit channel 3 weeks from now. So for those of you who are in school, you probably appreciate you get our content first, and some content, if it's private, never ever gets it to YouTube at all because it's private. If it's some kind of secret or gives our students advantage, we're never going to publish. But Amber here, I'm going to ask Amber the only tip I want to give you today is check out Signpost. Signpost is one of our sponsors here. It's $1.99 a month, and I think it's $3.99 usually. But if you mention Roofing Insights, and I'll have Amber to drop a link, affiliation link with them. Signpost lets you automate that process to request reviews for on a regular basis. If you're too busy, like if you're a startup company, you can do it personally. You can ask people, and I talk about it in a video, all the little tricks. But if you're too busy, if you're doing 200 projects per month, you need automation. Signpost can help you with that. Hopefully Amber or Quentin, my assistant here, will drop the link. Yep, we have it here. I'll bring it on screen. So check out Signpost, but the video will be in the school, how to generate reviews. Reviews are gold. It's your online currency. It's all about reviews these days. Your marketing budgets will go down in half if you have tons of them. If you don't have any reviews, you'll be paying premiums for marketing efforts.
That's a really good point.
Absolutely.
But that number one, the foundational answer is ask, and make it part of your process to ask, I think.
We have a question here. Do you use electronic signature? By the way, Albright Roofing, love your engagement. Great questions today. Hats off to you, man. Thank you for your attention. Do you use electronic signatures on your commencements? We use iPads, big ones. I think GoPro, like the biggest iPads they make, and we present our estimates often via QuickBooks. So just QuickBooks estimate, and they sign it right there. We can email it to them. They can scan back to us. I don't think that my roofing business using it. I think we tried. I'm not sure. I have to talk. I'm selling my business. I'll make big announcement with the next couple of weeks. But it's not something that we've been using for years. But QuickBooks, we pretty much, it's digital signature in-house. Did you have any?
This one's weird. Is that right if I say that?
What?
Talking about I thought he was saying he was buying reviews there. I was like, oh God.
Free Google reviews.
Don't buy reviews.
Makes us tons of money. 15 new 5-star reviews in the last 24 hours. 15 new 5-star reviews in the last 24 hours. What did you do? How did you get?
Maybe that's why I thought he was buying them.
15 new 5. Randy, we need to talk.
Yeah, we need to hear what.
We need to talk. Let's schedule a Zoom call and let's talk about how this man got 15 reviews in 24 hours.
Yeah.
All right, Randy, you have to tell us more. Give me a little bit more information than that.
You know what? I'm just going to note real quick. I know that this isn't what Randy's saying, but if you ever feel tempted to buy reviews, I want to say stop. Not for anybody else, just for you. You don't want to feel that way. I'm a fake. I buy reviews. Don't be that guy. Be the guy that is authentic. And I don't know. I just feel like for your own sake, don't do that.
Yes.
I have seen people do that before.
Army Roofing, love the name, Army Roofing, probably veteran, right? Does Hook and Online Business School offer services to Canadian companies? Absolutely. We have a lot of Canadian guys in the school. I love Canada. Adam Sant, one of my partners here.
Can I do a shout out in Canada too?
Sure.
Webrunner Media is a roofing PPC company, paid ads company that's amazing out of Canada.
Type it here.
Yes, Webrunner Media.
Okay. Hashtag non-sponsored.
Yeah, non-sponsored. These guys are awesome, and they do roofing Google ads. They're very good at it. And Hook, yes, we have. We do service Canada, and this other company, Webrunner Media, does.
We have a lot. 14-15% of our audience are from Canada, so cool. Lots of people. We do a lot of phone calls. I love Canadian market. A little bit different. I traveled there 2 years ago. I'm actually, as long as you guys open doors to us, we're going to come back again. We have a couple company tours. SumoQuote is from Canada. I talked to Ryan, the founder of SumoQuote, on a regular basis. Love the market. You guys are amazing. Overpaying a little bit too much, and I don't like your politics, but overall love my Canadian friends.
Overall, they're paying too much for what? Sorry.
They're paying too much for everything.
Materials? Oh, gotcha.
For everything. It's funny, like we're in Minnesota, and I have friends a little bit north of here, and they have Canadians come across the border to buy materials from our Menards and take it back, even with the customs and stuff. It's still cheaper. So I just know you pay too much for trucks and stuff like that, and you think you have free medicine over there, free healthcare. Nothing is free. Someone's paying for it. But what do I know about communism? Let's not get there. Randy says, I told all 7 of my guys go through the last few months and ask all clients who did not initially give a review to do so, or will break your legs. No. I mean, 20. I mean, man, come on. It's a big number. It's a big number.
Yeah, it is a big number. I think heartfelt works, though. Being heartfelt about it. Hey, we're a small business. We'd love if you take 2 minutes. I think saying 2 minutes in there, something, they don't have to leave a giant review or something like that.
Mike Peace asking, is there a third party that can look at my website and SEO content backlinks without trying to sell me their services? I don't know.
I feel like, no offense, like we do that. We this is how people get business.
This guy will not try to sell you their services.
I try to say, we present them, we put them on the table, and we're like, if you want this, if this is right for you, then take them. But it is hard, right? Because we're running a business too. If people are giving free audits, it's hard to not be presumptuous and be like, they want what we sell. So usually not. There's not usually
just like roofers. When you do free inspection, your free is loaded. You know you're there to sell the job, and like free is, there's no such a, as a matter of fact, I've been selling a lot of roof repairs, tune-ups at cost, because when people, and this is what the roofers don't understand, I want to touch on it. People have been fighting me forever on online purchases of inspections and tune-ups. I've been so successful, and yet my company would do free inspections, but we also paid inspections. Here's the difference in the brain. When person buys it's inspection, he feels like he's getting value. He's paying, $49, $99 for roof inspection. He feels like, okay, I purchased it, go check it out. As a matter of fact, I remember so many people purchased several for their parents. I remember one father purchased it for 2 of his daughters and his house. So we got like $300. He asked us to inspect 3 houses. He just wanted peace of mind. So I think guys like you, guys like us, roofers, we should charge, because when you charge, now your free is not loaded. You're actually getting paid, and the business owner feels like he's getting value, and there's, he doesn't have to do the business. He's just getting something in return, like your inspection. Yeah,
that'd be ideal, I think.
Yep. Jeremy,
I just want to throw this out here. I've seen these a lot, and we've messed with this idea. So this particular one, I haven't had experience with brand review, or it's basically this idea of you're embedding coordinates in a photo so that you'll show up more in that area. And I would say, from what I can tell, and we've experimented with this and have not seen crazy results from it, is that this it appears to be a hope. It's like wishful thinking. We wish that worked, and maybe it's appeared to work for some people, but I don't believe it works that well. At least it's not something to spend all that time or a ton of money on, with like putting your geo coordinates into photos. Now, adding photos to your Google My Business page, absolutely important. Being rhythmically adding new content to your website, very important. Now, does the geo information on your photos really matter that much? Not that we've seen. And I know that there's several other marketing companies selling that idea out there. I think that they're basically like they're trying to make it seem like Google is way more sophisticated than it is. Sometimes I think, like, I know that Google's changing its algorithm on a regular basis, but sometimes we overthink it and we don't do the basics.
I agree. I'm going to let you fix our mess here. Pronounce this name properly now.
Satira. That's great. That's a great pronunciation. I like that.
Satira. We butchered it earlier. We
really did.
We're going to do one last question here, and we're going to wrap it up. It's been an hour. I'm using...
that's the one we just did, I think, right?
No. I'm using an SEO company that uses a plugin called Brand Review. and it allows me to use geolocation checking using a picture. Is this an effective tool? I don't feel like I'm getting a great results from this company, even though they speak very highly of themselves.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that basically those geolocation things are a little suspect as far as how much effect it has. It's something that we've experimented with. We think it's awesome, but I wouldn't spend a ton of time on it. I would stick, for my biggest thing with getting higher on Google in particular, content, regular fresh content on your website on a regular basis, links back to your website from other websites, hopefully authoritative ones, and then making sure that like meta titles and descriptions on your key selling pages and your blog posts are optimized for things people are actually searching. And just kind of review real quick, you can use SEMrush or Ahrefs, Ahrefs, to find the things that people are Googling on a regular basis.
All right. Awesome. So I have one last announcement for today and we are done. If you guys missed it yesterday, hold on. Give me 1 second. What's going on here? Check out our new reality TV style show on YouTube. So if you go and type in directory home improvements, you will see our brand new show. We just uploaded our first episode yesterday with a company called Napa Builders out of Pennsylvania. Absolutely amazing company. You're going to love it. If you like our company tours, it's about 30-minute episode. First part, second part will be released on Monday. Check it out, guys. You're gonna love it. Subscribe to that channel. That channel not gonna have a lot of content like this. We're not gonna cross promote channels. So that one will be more for painters, flooring guys, remodelers, pretty much all the trades. We want to highlight business owners, in a sister trades. Electrician, HVAC guys. Try to get in their place, in their shoes, what they're going through. We're all similar. We all need websites. We all need market ourselves, generate reviews, manage our customers' jobs, finances, stuff like that. But at the same time, each trade comes with its specific. I want you to check out that video. Also, we have a podcast now. We have a first episode every Monday. We're doing podcasts. If you type in Roofing Insights on Spotify, Apple, everywhere you can find a podcast, Roofing Insights now available there. Only for our biggest interviews. We're uploading one every week. You're going to love our next one with Earl World. He's a supplier. He will tell you in our next episode on Monday why you cannot buy directly from manufacturer, why it's such a secret relationships and complicated relationships between suppliers and manufacturers. Absolutely amazing episode. Comes to podcast first and YouTube second. Check it out on Monday. See you guys very soon. What's the name again? Satira.
So
says,
now we all know.
Satira says, thank you guys for all this valuable content. We really appreciate all the help you guys give. Thank you for helping us with your name. See you guys later. Thank you for the love.